Assalamu alaikum everyone. So in the last video, we have just looked at the paragraph constructions that have incorporated the method of using comparison for the purpose of writing. राइट सो उन पैराग्राफ में कंपैरिजन के मेथड को यूज करते हुए पैराग्राफ कंस्ट्रक्ट किया गया था, जिसमें हमने एग्जांपल देखी है इन विच वी कंपेयर टू यूएस प्रेसिडेंट्स अब्राहम लिंकन एंड जॉन एफ कैनेडी, और फिर हमने उस पैराग्राफ को एनालाइज किया, ग्रामेटिकल स्ट्रक्चर जो सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर यूज हुआ था उसको एनालाइज किया था, एंड देन कंपैरिजन इंफॉर्मेशन ट्रांसफर की मैंने आपको एक छोटा सा टास्क दिया था जिसमें आपको इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड थी एंड यू वर सपोज टू राइट अ पैराग्राफ based on that information, and then I gave you another task for practice in which you had all the liberty to choose whoever you want to compare. You have to write a comparison between two people who you think are quite similar to each other. ठीक है, so now moving on, we are going to learn about how to construct paragraphs using the method of contrast. Right, so in the coming paragraph, the model paragraph in the next slide, the author is basically concentrating on the differences between extreme extroversion and extreme introversion. ठीक है, so you all know कि extroversion or introversion are two personality characteristics or two personality types, but obviously every time they aren't only extreme, there are ambiverts as well, right? So basically the writer does not deny that most people are a combination of both of these. तो ज्यादातर लोग extreme levels पे नहीं होते, ना ही वो extreme extroverts होते हैं, ना ही वो extreme introverts होते हैं. They are sort of balanced between both, right? But this basically the writer has focused upon presenting that differences. The writer has focused on differences. मैंने आपको last lecture में बताया था that when you are utilizing the method of comparison, तो you can refer to some of the differences, but they're just referred to in a brief manner, and sometimes they're completely omitted as well. But when you're using contrast method, your focus is on differentiating between two things or two aspects of the same thing. ठीक है, चलिए एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं so that you have an idea what I'm talking about. I'll first read the paragraph. Model paragraph based on using a contrast method. According to the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung, every person's personality can be placed somewhere on a scale running from extreme extroversion, that is an outgoing personality, to extreme introversion, that is a withdrawn personality, right? So according to this psychiatrist, every person's personality, every person in this world, they can be placed, their personalities can be placed on a scale जो वेरी करता है एक्सट्रीम एक्सट्रोवर्जन से, यानी कि बहुत ज्यादा आउटगोइंग, फन लविंग, पार्टी सॉर्ट ऑफ पर्सन, या एक्सट्रीम इंट्रोवर्जन, कंप्लीटली विथड्रॉन. ठीक है, तो एवरी पर्सन्स पर्सनालिटी को इस स्केल पे रख के जज किया जा सकता है on the basis of this scale. Their personality type can be assessed on the basis of this scale. The typical extrovert is particularly fond of people and people-oriented activities. Further clarification after using a colon: he's sociable, likes parties, and has many friends, needs to have people to talk to, and does not like reading or studying by himself. Okay, so here the pronoun he has been used, and I'm sorry for that. Try to use generic pronoun. So instead of using he, because it only refers to one gender, when you're talking about general things, use the they pronoun instead of he or she, or refer he or she likes to, but that would be longer, and that doesn't seem appropriate that in every other sentence you write he or she. So simply use gender neutral pronoun they. The typical introvert, on the other hand, Now we talked about extrovert. Now we are referring to the complete opposite personality. So this is how we have placed the differences. The typical introvert, on the other hand, is a quiet, retiring sort of person, introspective, fond of books rather than people. So you see, first difference that we have, that the writer has referred to, is the qualities of a typical extrovert, and the basic primary quality is that they're sociable, they are people oriented, they're interested in people oriented activities, they're fond of people. So this was the first basis of differences. And similarly, after defining the characteristics of an extrovert, the writer has immediately referred to the characteristics of an introvert, a typical introvert who is rather shy or quiet and not a people's person, but instead would love to spend time with books, rather than spending it with people. Right? So the first comparison was on the basis of their personality type, the basic definition or the basic differences between their personality type. Unlike the extrovert who craves excitement, takes chances, and is generally impulsive, unlike the extrovert, we have explained about extrovert, comma, the introvert shuns excitement, takes matter of everyday life with proper seriousness, and likes a well-ordered mode of life. Now again, when we move on, again I refer to the specific sentence structure, but you can here notice the sentence structure. Unlike the extrovert, so unlike is also used for showing differences. This connector, this sentence structure is also used for referring to a contrast. So unlike the extrovert who craves excitement, a little bit description of the extrovert, the introvert shuns excitement. Now this is very extreme level of introversion, because that, saying that could be a little biased, because introverts have their own have their own means or have their own definition of excitement. But this is a general perception about extreme level of introversion. So the introvert shuns excitement, takes matters of everyday life with proper seriousness. Yes, this is a defining characteristic, that as compared to extroverts who are who are not so hard on themselves all the time, introverts mostly take all matters very seriously, and likes a well-ordered mode of life. Now this is also a defining characteristics of introverts, that they like everything to be in order, the life to be in proper order. They are not comfortable with the random events or random routine or random things around them. They're mostly organized. So you see, first the contrast was made in the basic personality type, and then the difference is further explained in terms of one being interested in excitement, life's excitement, and the other not taking life very seriously. So the other point of differentiation. Let's look at the next sentence, sentence number 5. Whereas the extrovert tends to be aggressive and loses his temper, their temper, if I say then lose their temper easily, the introverts tend to keep their feelings under close control, seldom behaves in an aggressive manner, and do not lose their temper easily. Because I have changed the pronoun throughout, that's why verb has also changed when I'm speaking. In terms of writing, wo har jagah does or hoga because he is used, but I would always advise to use generic pronouns in your writing. So another comparison is in terms of their general temperament, in terms of their how they express their feelings. So what is the difference? That whereas extrovert tends to be aggressive and they lose their temper easily, introvert mostly keep their feelings to themselves. They have a proper control over their emotion, and they rarely behaves in a manner that can be considered aggressive, and they do not lose temper very easily. Right? तो अब इधर आप दोबारा से सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर पे फोकस करें, किस तरह से कंपैरिजन हो रहा है. दिस इज अ सेम सेंटेंस, इट्स अ कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर. सेंटेंस टाइप्स होती है ना, सिंपल सेंटेंस, कंपाउंड सेंटेंस, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस है. whereas here the word whereas, the dependent clause जो है, whereas the extrovert tends to be aggressive and loses his temper, दिस इज अ डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज जो वेराज से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, वेराज जो है वो डिफरेंस को हाईलाइट कर रहा है. द इंट्रोवर्ट टेंड्स टू. अच्छा, एक और चीज, अगर आप वेराज से सेंटेंस स्टार्ट करके अदर पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस जो है इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के बगैर आप यही फुल स्टॉप डाल देते हैं, तो ये सेंटेंस फ्लॉ है, ये सेंटेंस फ्रैगमेंट कंसिडर किया जाता है. तो व्हेनेवर यू आर यूजिंग अ सबऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन, वेराज, व्हाइल, ऑल्दो, दो, तो उसके बाद डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के बगैर, इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज के बगैर सेंटेंस एंड नहीं होता. ये भी एक कॉमन मिस्टेक है जो बच्चे जनरली, जिनको लैंग्वेज लिखने पे ज्यादा कमांड नहीं होता, वो ये मिस्टेक कर रहे होते हैं. तो इसके बारे में भी जस्ट ट्राई टू अनलर्न इनकरेक्ट ग्रामेटिकल स्ट्रक्चर्स जो आप अब तक यूज करते हुए आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो ये इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ फीलिंग्स, अग्रेशन, ये कंपैरिजन, ये differentiation was on the basis of this. ठीक है, now let's look at yet another difference. The introvert is more reliable and less optimistic than the extrovert. Now this is a simple sentence. No subordinating conjunction is used here. For example, like sentence number 4 and sentence number 5, where the sentence has begun from a subordinating conjunction. Unlike से sentence शुरू हो रहा है, whereas से sentence शुरू हो रहा है. Sentence number 6 is a simple sentence. The introvert is more reliable and less optimistic than the extrovert. So a simple comparison in terms of reliability and in terms of optimism. Okay, now let's look at sentence number 7. The extrovert may often be subject to criminal or psychopathic behavior in contrast to the introvert. Now, in contrast, the word in contrast itself is self-explanatory. Whenever you place this word in contrast, obviously the next part of the sentence will refer to the opposing characteristics. So while the writer is saying that extroverts may be subject to criminal or psychopathic behavior, by the way, this is the writer's opinion. Obviously, आप इतना generalize नहीं कर सकते इस चीज को. In contrast to the introvert who may exhibit neurotic tendencies, right? So this is another comparison. Now the last comparison, a further difference between the two involves the ability to remember. The ability to remember is the basics of comparison, and after a calling, the writer has further explained that what he or she means by ability to remember by referring to studies. Studies have tended to show that the extrovert learns faster than the introvert, but in the end remembers less. So who has the more ability to remember events or information? Introvert. Why? Because they take time to process information, and that is again a very defining characteristics of introverts. ठीक है, so I hope कि आपने जो contrast के लिए basic grammatical features, terms, sentence structure use होता है, you have actually analyzed them so that you can use it when you are constructing paragraphs. Okay, now let's look at this table, analyzing a paragraph of contrast. Sentence number 2 and 3, the basis of comparison, there are two columns, extrovert and introvert. So in sentence number 2 and 3, the basis of contrast, the contrast, the difference was highlighted on the basis of sociability. So extrovert, fond of people, sociable, like parties. So sociability was the component on the basis of which contrast was made. On the other hand, introverts prefers to books to people, is shy and retiring. On the other hand was the sentence structure जो use हुआ था. The typical introvert, on the other hand, was the structure that showed difference. Excuse me. Similarly, in sentence number 4, the basis of contrast difference is risk-taking behavior. In sentence number 5, the contrast has been made on the basis of expression of feelings, aggression. in sentence number 6, the comparison, the contrast has been made on the basis of reliability or optimism. You have to fill in the remaining part of the table, and for sentence number 7 and 8, you have to identify on what basis the contrast has been made. And for each one of them, you have to go back, read the paragraph, and list down the contrastive devices that have been used. On the other hand, unlike, whereas, as opposed to this, to the contrary, whatever has been used, you have to list down that. I hope that is clear. So stop here and complete this paragraph. Refer back to the model paragraph, complete this exercise. Only this way you will understand how to construct paragraph incorporating contrast method. Otherwise, you won't learn it. Always remember, you do and you learn. अगर आप सिर्फ सुन रहे हैं तो नहीं आएगा. Practice, do and learn. Okay. Now let's look at the structures separately. The structure of contrast. The words like more than, less than, we all know that these are used for comparison, contrast, sorry. The introvert is quieter than the extrovert. You can simply say is quieter than the extrovert, or you can say the introvert is more reliable than the extrovert, or you can say the introvert is less optimistic than the extrovert, or you can say the introvert learns more slowly than the extrovert. Now here, less than, quieter than, more reliable than, and please remember another very common mistake that I have observed students making is in the spelling of then. Whenever you are using then for comparison, THAN then is the correct spelling. THEN then refers to, order of something. Okay, first he did this, then he went to the park. So there you use EN. In this context, THAN then is used. Okay, so do not make this mistake. Let's look at another example. The extrovert isn't as quiet as the introvert, so as quiet as, yet another structure for showing contrast. The extrovert isn't as reliable as the introvert, again, as reliable as. The extrovert doesn't learn as slowly as the introvert. So as slowly or as reliable as quiet as, these are yet another examples in this regard. The introvert isn't as optimistic as the extrovert. So you see how you can utilize the words more than, less than, or simply as quiet as reliable as happy as, or whatever, right? So please focus on the sentence structure. Stop, reread, and see how the structures have been written or organized in order to have a better understanding of written English language, or in order to have a better grasp on grammatical structure. Okay, now comes the structures of contrast. Adverbial clauses. Here, like I told you about dependent and independent clauses, मैं बीच में से ग्रामर को इसलिए रेफर कर रही हूँ क्योंकि जैसे मैंने लास्ट वीडियो में कहा कि किसी स्टूडेंट ने मुझे ईमेल की है कि किस तरह से उनको बेसिक्स में इशू है, तो मैं बीच में ग्रामर को आप लोगों की आसानी के लिए रेफर कर रही हूँ ताकि आप उन एस्पेक्ट्स को थोड़ा बहुत उसमें मैं रेफर भी कर दूं, और इन केस आपको उसके बारे में और सीखना है तो आप डिफरेंट सोर्सेस से उसके बारे में और भी पढ़ लें. तो एडवर्बियल क्लॉजेस क्या है? वो क्लॉजेस जो इस तरह के सबऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन से स्टार्ट हो रहे हो, ऑल्दो, वेयरएज, व्हाइल. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब यहां पे मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं ग्रामर की, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऑल्दो द एक्सट्रोवर्ट लूजेस हिज टेम्पर क्विकली, कॉमा, द इंट्रोवर्ट सेल्डम डज. Right? So the basic difference between the two personality type. इधर मुझे आपको ये बात बतानी है कि when you say although the extrovert loses his temper quickly, you cannot put a full stop. Otherwise, it will be a sentence fragment because it's a dependent clause. This is a complex sentence. Complex sentence में एक independent clause होता है, एक dependent clause होता है. तो मैं वैसे तो इस मेथड को बिल्कुल प्रेफर नहीं करती कि मैं उर्दू में किसी एग्जाम्पल को ट्रांसलेट करूं, मगर आपकी आसानी के लिए अगर आप कहें चूंकि मैं बीमार था और आप यहां पे फुल स्टॉप डाल दें, तो इस बात का कोई सेंस तो नहीं बनवा ना। चूंकि मैं बीमार था तो आगे क्या, या नहीं, चूंकि नहीं, जबकि मैं बहुत बीमार था, तो आगे क्या, फुल स्टॉप, नो, ये इनकरेक्ट होगा ना, इनकम्प्लीट सेंटेंस है, कंप्लीट मीनिंग नहीं कन्वे हो रहा। जबकि मैं बीमार था, मैं यूनिवर्सिटी क्लास लेने गया या गई, ठीक है। तो जब आपने जबकि मैं बीमार था के बाद आगे की बात मुकम्मल की कि जबकि मैं बहुत बीमार था या जबकि मुझे तेज बुखार था, मैं यूनिवर्सिटी गया क्लास लेने, तो जब आपने ये फ्रेज, ये क्लॉज इंडिपेंडेंट वाला ऐड किया, तभी उस सेंटेंस का मीनिंग कंप्लीट हुआ। तो कभी भी whenever you start your sentence with although, whereas, though, despite the fact, you never put a full stop or end your sentence without independent clause. So although the extrovert loses his temper quickly, जबकि एक्सट्रोवर्ट बहुत जल्दी अपना टेम्पर लूज करते हैं, इंट्रोवर्ट्स बहुत ही मुश्किल से करते हैं ऐसा, ठीक है। सो ऑल्दो द एक्सट्रोवर्ट लूजेस हिज टेम्पर क्विकली, द इंट्रोवर्ट सेल्डम डज, और यू कैन से whereas the extrovert loses his temper or extrovert lose their temper quickly, excuse me, the introvert seldom do, they क्योंकि मैं यूज कर रही हूं, while the extrovert lose their temper quickly, the introverts seldom do, introverts seldom do, ठीक है। तो although, whereas, while, these are subordinating conjunction, these are adverbial clauses, and these words specifically help you make a contrast between two things, right? Okay, let's look at another structure, verbal structure. The introvert contrasts with the extrovert in regard to his ability to remember. The introverts contrast with the extroverts in regard to their ability to remember, or you can simply say the introverts differ from the extrovert in respect to their ability to remember, or you can say the introverts are different from the extrovert in respect to their ability to remember, right? So in regard to, in respect to, contrast with, differs from, or is different from, these are the sentence type that you need to focus on and incorporate in your writing, ठीक है। अच्छा जी, अब हम सेंटेंस कनेक्टर्स को भी देख लेते हैं कि किस तरह के कनेक्टर्स यूज हो रहे हैं when we are using contrast for writing. The extrovert loves crowd, ठीक है, semicolon, however the introvert is fond of solitude. So the basis of comparison क्या है, solitude and crowd, this is the basis of comparison. The extroverts love crowds, semicolon, on the other hand, comma, the introverts are fond of solitude, is fond of solitude. The extrovert loves crowd, in semicolon, in contrast, comma, the introvert is fond of solitude. So these are the connectors. However, on the other hand, in contrast, और इसके अलावा भी, contrary to this, on the other hand, as opposed to this, on the opposite. So these are the connectors that are used to show differences, contrast between two things, ठीक है। Or you can say the extrovert loves crowd, semicolon, the introvert, however, is fond of solitude. So the connectors can come before the other part of the sentence, the second phrase, clause, or these can come after you have introduced the other part, the subject, like the introvert. So the extrovert loves crowds, the introvert, on the other hand, is fond of solitude. Yeah, the extrovert loves crowd, the introvert, in contrast, is fond of solitude, right? So I hope you understand how and what connectors are used to show contrast and or difference between two things or two aspects of the same thing, right? Okay, now punctuation only. Now you can simply highlight contrast between two things by the use of punctuation. The introvert likes books, semicolon, the extrovert is fond of people. So simply a punctuation can, show the contrast. Here you have repeated the extrovert is fond of people in the full sentence. The other way of writing it, of being using limited words, not being verbose, is the introvert likes books, semicolon, the extrovert, comma, people. Instead of saying the introvert likes book, the extrovert likes people. So instead of, repeating the similar word, the extrovert, comma, people. But semicolon here is important before you write extrovert. So you can show contrast simply by using punctuation effectively in your writing. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब method of contrast को समझना बहुत जरूरी है. So there are two main ways in which you can organize your material when you are developing a contrast paragraph, right? The first method has been used in the preceding model paragraph, the typical extrovert versus the typical introvert. तो एक तो तरीका ये है, there are two ways. एक method आप देख चुके हैं, first वाला. What happens in the first method? That the contrasts are made one at a time, or point by point. Thus, the two personality types are first contrasted for sociability, then for risk taking, and so on. इसका मतलब क्या है कि एक तो मेथड कॉन्ट्रास्ट शो करने का ये है कि आपने एक एस्पेक्ट चूज किया, कोई सब पार्ट है टॉपिक का, और उस पर दोनों को कॉन्ट्रास्ट वन एट अ टाइम, उसी वक्त पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट आपने कॉन्ट्रास्ट कर दिया. फॉर एग्जांपल, पहले इन टर्म्स ऑफ सोशबिलिटी हमने बता दिया कि एक्सट्रोवर्ट सोशेबल है, whereas इंट्रोवर्ट नहीं है. फिर हम दूसरे कंपोनेंट पे आ गए, रिस्क टेकिंग के. एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स आर मोर फॉन्ड ऑफ और मोर कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट रिस्क टेकिंग बिहेवियर, whereas इंट्रोवर्ट्स आर मोर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. तो आपने एक बिहेवियर, रिस्क टेकिंग बिहेवियर का एस्पेक्ट उठाया और उस पर दोनों को साइड बाय साइड, पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट दोनों का डिफरेंस बता दिया. सिमिलरली इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ फीलिंग्स, आपने एक कंपोनेंट था और उस पर आपने बता दिया दैट वन इज वेरी एक्सप्रेस one very easily express their feeling while another doesn't, right? तो इस तरह से आप वन बाय वन एक एक कंपोनेंट उठाते गए और उस पे दोनों को साथ में डिफरेंसेस को आपने साइड बाय साइड, वन बाय वन यू रेफर टू द डिफरेंस. So here, like in the preceding model paragraph, the words extrovert and introvert are repeated each time a new area of contrast is brought up. So every time there was a new area of contrast, first you talked about extrovert, then introvert, then another area of contrast, extrovert क्या करते हैं उस एरिया में, introvert का क्या फीचर है. इसी तरीके से थर्ड एरिया में आप आए, एक्सट्रोवर्ट का क्या फीचर है, इंट्रोवर्ट का. सो दिस वाज हाउ साइमल्टेनियस, वन बाय वन यू वर रेफरिंग टू बोथ ऑफ देम ऑन द डिफरेंट एरिया ऑफ कॉन्ट्रास्ट. ठीक है, लेकिन नाउ इस तरह से था, वो इस तरह की पिक्चर बन रही थी. सोशियबिलिटी वाला कंपोनेंट था, एरिया ऑफ कॉन्ट्रास्ट था, एक्सट्रोवर्ट का बता दिया, देन इंट्रोवर्ट का. रिस्क टेकिंग था, एक्सट्रोवर्ट का बता दिया, देन इंट्रोवर्ट का. सो इस तरह की एक पिक्चर बन रही थी. अब सेकंड मेथड क्या है? The writer could of course have completed describe the extrovert, then in the second part of the paragraph have gone on to completely describe the introvert. This would have given a very different looking but equally acceptable paragraph. So instead of doing this thing, that choosing one component, talking about both of them, highlighting their difference one by one, second component their difference, third component their difference, you can also organize your paragraph in a way when you first talk about extrovert on all the aspects, on you talk about their each and every characteristics, and in the second paragraph you talk about the characteristics of introvert. So instead of going one on one contrast, you simply talk about the characteristics of one personality type first, and then after you have finished talking about their complete personality type, or you have given the complete description of their personality, you can move on to the second part. Both of the methods are correct. Both of the methods are quite different. They appear very different, but they are accurate and acceptable. So second method is tarah ka extrovert, sociability. What is their behavior in terms of sociability? How do they approach? What is their approach towards risk-taking behavior? How do they express their feelings or aggression? What is how is their personality in terms of reliability and optimism? What are the abnormal tendencies they have, or how is their ability to remember? So you talk about extrovert in first paragraph. Then comes introvert, and then you assess introvert on the same component. Because you are assessing both of them on the same components, obviously the comparison is made. Even if you first talk about one personality type on all the components and then you come to the second personality type. बट बिकॉज यूर अच्छा अब इसमें डिफरेंशिएशन सिर्फ तभी होगा जब आप दोनों को सेम कंपोनेंट पे असेस करेंगे. So it doesn't matter whether you assess them simultaneously on each component जो method 1 में हुआ, or you first assess one of them on all the components and then assess the other one on all the component. तो वो तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता. लेकिन अगर आप डिफरेंस हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं तो जिस बेसिस पे आप डिफरेंस कर रहे हैं वो सेम होना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि आप एक्सट्रोवर्ट में सोशबिलिटी और रिस्क टेकिंग और फीलिंग्स और अग्रेशन के बेसिस पे आप बात कर रहे हैं और फिर इंट्रोवर्ट को आप किसी और डिमेंशन पे जज कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि फिर डिफरेंस तो नहीं हाईलाइट हो रहा ना. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब इससे हम एक एग्जांपल देख लेते हैं जो मेथड 2 यूज हो रहा है. मेथड 2 ऑफ कॉन्ट्रास्ट है. In studying the phenomena usually referred to as sleep, we are actually dealing with more than one phenomena. In point of fact, we spend the night alternating between two different types of sleep, each with different brain mechanisms and different purposes. So whenever throughout the night we are alternating between two different types of sleep. तो पूरी रात हमारी two different types of sleep में हम इधर से उधर घर होते हैं. As a person falls asleep, his brain waves develop a slower and less regular pattern than in a waking state. This is called orthodox sleep. Now, introduction to the first type. In this state, the brain is apparently resting, its blood supply is reduced, and its temperature falls slightly. Breathing and heart rate are regular. The muscles remain slightly tensed. After about an hour in this state, however, the brain waves begin to show a more active pattern again, even though the person is apparently asleep very deeply. This is called paradoxical sleep because it has much in common with being awake. So we are done with defining the characteristics or the features of orthodox sleep. That, you know, the brain is apparently resting, the blood supply is reduced, the temperature has fallen, and breathing and heart rate are regular. So we have defined all the, we have referred to all the defining features of orthodox sleep here. And then we have come to paradoxical sleep. And what happens in paradoxical sleep? That paradoxical active, it's comparatively an active sleep as compared to, in contrast to orthodox sleep, paradoxical sleep is more active. It is marked by irregular breathing and heart rate, increased blood supply to the brain and increased brain temperature. Most of the muscles are relaxed. There are various jerky movements of the body and face, including short bursts of rapid eye movements, which indicate that we are dreaming. Thus, we spend the night alternating between these two vital restoration jobs, working on the brain, paradoxical sleep, which works on the brain, and working on the body, orthodox sleep. So you see, both the type of sleep are different. Your condition, the condition of your body is very different. The condition of your mind, your brain is different in both the phases of these sleep. But first, the writer has referred to the features of orthodox sleep. Once the writer is done with that, then they move on to defining the features of paradoxical sleep. Are you getting my point? ठीक है. अच्छा जी, अब ये कुछ इस तरीके से है. टॉपिक सेंटेंस तो आप आइडेंटिफाई करें. ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप की क्या पैटर्न है? ब्रेन वेव, स्लोअर, रेस्ट रेगुलर. अब आप ये फिल करें. ब्लड सप्लाई कैसी होती है ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप में? टेम्परेचर कैसा होता है? ब्रीदिंग और हार्ट रेट कैसा होता है? रेगुलर, वी हैव जस्ट रेड इट, सो आप फिल करें. मसल टेंशन कैसी है? बॉडी और फेस मूवमेंट कैसी होती है? देन यू कम टू पैराडॉक्स स्लीप. पैराडॉक्स स्लीप में क्या है? ब्रेन वेव्स कैसी है? ब्लड सप्लाई कैसा है? टेम्परेचर कैसा है? ब्रीदिंग और हार्ट रेट कैसी है? अच्छा जी, increased blood supply to the brain. ठीक है. Then muscle tension कैसी है? Body and face movement, eye movement कैसी है? And then you conclude. Are you getting my point? So this paragraph has used second method. It's different from the paragraph on introversion and extroversion. क्योंकि उसमें एक अगर पहला मेथड होता तो हम पहले ब्रेन वेव्स को पिक करते और उसी को बता देते दैट ड्यूरिंग ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप ब्रेन वेव्स इस तरह की होती हैं, ब्लड सप्लाई इस तरह का होता है, whereas पैराडॉक्स स्लीप में ब्लड सप्लाई इतना होता है, बॉडी टेम्परेचर ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप में इतना होता है, पैराडॉक्स स्लीप में बॉडी टेम्परेचर इतना। तो ये आप साइड बाय साइड कर रहे होते तो ये फर्स्ट मेथड हो सकता था, ठीक है। बट इसमें वी हैव यूज फर्स्ट सेकंड मेथड इन विच फर्स्ट वी हैव रेफर्ड टू द फीचर्स ऑफ ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप. आफ्टर वी हैव डन विद डिफाइनिंग ऑल द फीचर्स ऑफ ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप, वी हैव मूव्ड ऑन टू डिफाइनिंग द फीचर्स ऑफ पैराडॉक्स स्लीप. अच्छा जी, आपको you have this one small comparatively easier task in which you have to take the paragraph on sleep, which is the method 2, and rewrite it according to method 1 point by point. Use as many contrast expression as necessary. तो ये जो सैंपल पैराग्राफ है ये मेथड 2 के तहत को यूज करते हुए लिखा गया है. अब आप इसी इंफॉर्मेशन को मेथड 1 को यूज करते हुए लिखें. पहले एक कंपोनेंट उठा लें, ब्लड सप्लाई, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल उसमें आपने बता दिया ऑर्थोडॉक्स स्लीप द ब्लड सप्लाई रिड्यूस, whereas in paradoxical sleep the blood supply has increased to the blood supply to the brain has increased. फिर come to the temperature, ऑर्थोडॉक्स में कैसा है, पैराडॉक्स में कैसा है. तो इस तरीके से इस पूरे पैराग्राफ को मेथड 1 की तरह आप लिखें. इंफॉर्मेशन है, वर्ड्स है, वोकैबुलरी है, सारी इंफॉर्मेशन है, सिर्फ आपको मेथड चेंज करना है. और जब आप मेथड चेंज करेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली आपको कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग डिवाइसेस, कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग एक्सप्रेशन थोड़े ज्यादा यूज करने होंगे, बिकॉज यू विल बी मेकिंग कॉन्ट्रास्ट साइड बाय साइड. So you will be incorporating all the contrasting devices that I have just discussed. For example, on the other hand, as opposed to this, however, while, whereas. So these are, use as many contrast expression as necessary. Okay. So this is a smaller task. You can stop the video, look at the paragraph, change the method. Okay. Another proper writing paragraph without any support, in which you have to write a paragraph using contrast method, is that write a paragraph in which you contrast two people you know who are very different. Indicate at the end which method you have used. So you can use either of the method, either method 1 in which you make point by point contrast, or you can use method 2, separate section. तो ये भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सा टास्क है. यू कैन सम ऑफ यू हैव 2 or 3 siblings, so you can compare 2 of your siblings. आप अपने बहन भाइयों में से कंपैरिजन कर लें, आप अपने फैमिली मेंबर में कंपैरिजन वो कॉन्ट्रास्ट कर लें, डिफरेंस हाईलाइट कर दें अपनी राइटिंग में. आप अपने पेरेंट्स की पर्सनालिटी पे लिख सकते हैं, आप अपने किसी 2 फ्रेंड्स के बीच में कॉन्ट्रास्ट कर सकते हैं. सो इट्स अप टू यू. सो राइट अ कंप्लीट पैराग्राफ. पहले टेबल बना लें कि कौन कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन पे, कौन कौन से बेसिस पे आप डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे दोनों को, और फिर उसको पैराग्राफ फॉर्म में लिख दें. और एंड में देखें कि आपने कौन सा मेथड यूज किया. पहले डिसाइड कर लें दैट व्हिच मेथड यू विल बी यूजिंग. ठीक है. अच्छा जी, सो लेट्स रिव्यू दिस लेक्चर. So basically in this session we have, in both the session 1 and session 2, we have developed paragraph using comparison and contrast method. First we have analyzed comparison paragraph. We have specifically looked at the grammatical structure of comparison paragraph, the type of connectors that were used, the adverbial clauses that were used, the use of preposition, the use of correlating conjunctions. तो हमने वो एनालाइज किया था. देन वी डेवलप इन द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द सेकंड सेशन, वी डेवलप पैराग्राफ यूजिंग कॉन्ट्रास्ट मेथड्स. वी यूज 2 methods, method number 1 and method number 2 for writing a contrast paragraph, and we analyzed contrast paragraph. We also analyzed the sentence structure of contrast paragraph, and then I have assigned different tasks for practice writing using comparison and contrast method. So I hope that by the end of this session, you are in a better position to write paragraph using comparison and contrast method. Last class में cause and effect last week discuss हुआ था, इस week comparison and contrast है. And believe me, अगर आप हर session में उसी वक्त रुक के practice करते रहेंगे साथ साथ, या उस सेशन को पूरी वीडियो को सुनने के बाद प्रैक्टिस करते रहेंगे, आपको थोड़े हफ्तों में खुद ही अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि आपकी राइटिंग स्किल्स कैसे इंप्रूव हुई हैं। हमारे 4 वीक्स कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं, दिस इज आवर 5th वीक, और आज हमारे 9th and 10th सेशन हमारे हो गए हैं 40 मिनट्स के। तो अगर वो लोग जो आई एम होपिंग कि देयर आर फ्यू स्टूडेंट्स एटलीस्ट जो शुरू से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, अगर आप अपने लेक्चर में जाएं, आज से 1 महीने पहले की प्रैक्टिस देखें और अभी का देखें, तो आपको बहुत चीजें आपने सीखी होंगी अगर आपने प्रैक्टिस की है। इन केस आपने नहीं की है तो स्टिल यू हैव टाइम, you can go through the previous lecture, you can take a notebook, you can start practicing. So in case you have any confusion, you are more than welcome to email me. Please do not expect कि मैं इस कोर्स को टोन डाउन करूंगी या मैं इस कोर्स के कंटेंट को चेंज करूंगी. I want you to work hard and put in the effort. In case you need any extra advice, help regarding books, method of studying, improving your language in general, you can email me at nayab.iqbal20@gmail.com. So I hope you will practice. See you in the next session. Thank you.